Venise Ocampo, a hospitality management instructor. Welcome to my class.
So in continuation of our past discussion about the housekeeping department, now let us discuss the engineering operations of the hotel. So when we heard the word engineering, so most likely ang naiisip natin dito is about science, it is about mathematical operations, it is about solving problems. But in reality, when we say the word engineering in the aspect of the hotel operation, it is one of the most important department in the hotel. It has a great importance because it provides utility services. So ano yung mga utility services na yun? Sila yung in charge with regards to the electricity, hot water, air conditioning unit, diba? Sila yung in charge about the HVAC, which later on we will further discuss. So now let's start discussing the operations of the hotel, specifically in the engineering department. So in here, we have considered guest services. So it can be the housekeeping, the engineering, and the security department. So a while ago, pag sinabi kasi nating guest services, usually ito yung visible component. So when we say visible component, this includes yung concierge, yung mga uniform services, yung garage, yung mga valet parking attendants, yung mga recreational and leisure activities. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga madalas makita ng guest na nagpe-perform ng task within the hotel. But in here, kino-consider din natin na guest services si housekeeping, engineering, and security department. But in this case, they are working behind the scenes. Okay? So, kumbaga, kung may front of the house employees tayo, meron naman tayo mga back of the house employees na normally hindi natin sila nakikita lagi, but then they're also vital sa operation ng ating hotel. So, yun nga si housekeeping, security of the hotel, pati yung mga guests, the maintenance of the hotel's engineering system. So in here, when Wasmuth and Davis studied the management of employee turnover, they found it to be relatively low in engineering departments in the majority of the hotels studied. So in here, there is an highlighted term. Okay? So the highlighted term here is the employee turnover. So ano nga ba si employee turnover? So basically, when we say the word employee turnover, it refers to the number, okay, or the percentage of workers who leave an organization and replaced by new employees. So kung transfer natin to into the human resource context, when we say the word turnover, it is an act of replacing an employee with a new employee. Ibig sabihin, pinapalitan natin yung mga old employees ng mga bagong employees. And usually, measuring employee turnover can be helpful to employers that want to examine reasons for turnover or estimate the cost to hire for budget purposes. So, ang nangyayari kasi dito sa engineering department, as mentioned also in your module, na there is a issue with regards to the quality of supervision. And ang nangyayari kasi dito, kapag ikaw is nagtrabaho sa isang hotel, hindi pwede na ikaw lang yung magpa-perform ng task mo by yourself. Usually, you need a guidance, lalong-lalo na pagdating sa engineering department. So, they also found that quality of supervision was key element in maintaining low turnover rates among these engineering departments. Now, if we have a good quality of supervision, ibig sabihin na supervise natin, na-observe natin properly, or na ma-manage natin properly yung ating mga employees within the specific department, ibig sabihin, mas magiging mababa yung chances ng employee turnover. Mahirap po kasi sa isang establishment na papalit-palit tayo ng employees. So, bakit? Kasi 'di ba, if we are going to hire new employees, kailangan mo ulit mag-spend ng time, ng effort, and ng money for them to have such trainings, for them to conduct some, let's say, mga important matters para nang sa ganun is matuto sila sa pamamalakad ng establishment. So, managerial style refers to the way managers manage, control, and motivate and otherwise direct subordinates. It is through managerial style that employees may or may not be encouraged and allowed to work on their own. So, sa lahat naman ng mga departments within the hotel, we have different managers. May manager for food and beverage, may manager for housekeeping, front office, security, engineering, maintenance department, and so on. So, those managers, they have a different style, okay, on how are they going to manage their employees, their subordinates. May iba't iba silang style kung paano nila i-control, imo-motivate, 'di ba, yung kanilang mga empleyado. So in here, nakadepende po sa managerial style na meron ang isang manager kung paano niya mas ma-encourage yung kanya mga empleyado na mas magtrabaho pa, 'di ba? Na exert ng effort, ng productivity nila doon sa particular establishment. We have different managerial styles. First, we have the coercive, authoritative, affiliative, democratic, pace-setting, and coaching. So, for the coercive, it says here that it is a kind of style wherein do it the way I tell you. So, parang ganyan yung concept. Do it the way I tell you. So, in here, the manager closely controls subordinates and motivates by threats and discipline. So, dito, parang ang nangyayari, you are going to supervise, diba? You are going to manage your subordinates and motivate them by putting up threats and discipline. So, kumbaga, pag hindi mo nagawa yan, yung task na yan, pag hindi mo natapos yung trabaho mo within the day, makaka-receive ka ng memo. Okay? Ibig sabihin, may threat, may kapalit na takot, may kapalit na disiplina. So, in that case, yung ibang mga employees, para hindi sila makareceive ng threats and disciplinary actions, ginagawa nila agad yung trabaho. So, kaya nga sabi dyan, do it the way I tell you. So, when I tell you to do it this day and pass the reports within this day, so do it right away. So, the next one is the authoritative or the firm but fair. So, in here, managers give subordinates clear direction and motivates by persuasion and feedback on task performance. So, dito naman, very solemn, very chill yung pagiging managerial style na ini-impose dito. So, in here, sinasabi na the managers usually give a clear direction. Malinaw. Diba? Malinaw yung mga implementation, malinaw yung information, yung mga detalye na sinasabi ni manager na dapat mong gawin, and usually, minomotivate ka din ni manager. So, minomotivate ka niya, of course, by doing or by praising the kind of work that you are doing, and afterwards, magbibigay siya ng feedback with regards dun sa performance na ginawa mo. So, the next one is the affiliative. So, this is new, diba? So, affiliative is about a leadership style wherein you promote harmony within the team. So, this style connects people together, encourage inclusion, and resolving conflict. So, si affiliative, sabi nga dyan, people first, task second. So, dito, binibigyan ng importance ni manager yung pagkakaroon nyo muna ng good personal relationships bago nyo gawin yung particular task. Kasi 'di ba, ang hirap naman magtrabaho kung hindi nyo pakilala yung isa't isa. Hindi nyo pakilala si manager. Tapos, hindi mo alam kung ano ba yung taste ni manager pagdating sa ganitong trabaho. Hindi mo alam kung paano ba siya magre-react. So, in this kind of managerial style, ang una nyong task is to get to know one another. Get to know your people, your subordinates. Okay? So, in here, the manager motivates by trying to keep people happy. Okay? So, your manager wants to keep their people happy, ayan, with fringe benefits, security, and social activities. So, parang dito, ang priority ni manager is yung kanyang mga tauhan. So, democratic, it is about participative. So, manager encourages subordinate input in decision-making and motivates by rewarding team effort. So, dahil democratic o yung tinatawag natin na democracy, you have the free will to participate. Okay? Participate in decision-making. Diba? So, pag nagkaroon kayo ng meeting, may mga pinag-usapan, and then your managers will ask you if you have some ideas or thoughts about the particular topic, and then, yung sasabihin mo mga thoughts na yun or ideas is i-consider ni manager sa kanyang pagde-decide, okay? And of course, dahil may motivation din, so binibigyan niya kayo ng reward, okay? For the efforts na in-exceed, okay, nung particular team. So the next one is the pace setting. So when we say pace setting, it's about do it myself. So si pace setting, sinasabi dito, it is a kind of leadership style wherein the leader leads from the front, constantly set high standards for their team, and expects them to exceed with minimal management. So dito naman, dahil nga pace setting, you have to do it by yourself. Okay? Magsaset ng standard, magsaset ng policy, ng procedure si manager, and then you have to do it. You have to comply with those standards para nang sa ganun is minimal lang. Okay? Minimal yung management na maibibigay niya sa'yo. Hindi all the time is i-observe ka niya, hindi all the time is isusupervise ka niya. So most likely, you will do the task by yourself, given na may guidance din naman si manager. So, dito ina-expect ni manager na you have to follow his or her example. So, kung may sinet ako na example na dapat ganito yung way, 'di ba? Ganito yung way na paglilinis natin ng mga air conditioning units, so susundin 'yon ng mga subordinates. So, the last one is the coaching. So, coaching is about the developmental stage. So, sinasabi dyan, manager helps and encourages subordinates to improve their performance and motivates by providing opportunities for professional development. So even before naririnig na natin yung term na coaching, and ang lumalabas or ang naiisip natin is basically about career development or professional development. Dahil may coach kayo. So si manager nagsaserve as your coach. Ibig sabihin, tinutulungan ka niya, ini-encourage ka niya to do your task, okay? Para mas ma-improve mo pa yung performance at para mas makakuha ka pa ng maraming opportunities, and pag ganun yung nangyari, usually you will develop. There is a professional development na mangyayari. So those are the 6 managerial styles that is implemented by the hotel operation. So in here we have the managerial style profile, which reflects both primary and backup styles. So dito sinamarize lang yung ibang mga managerial styles kanina. So we have the primary and we also have the backup. So in here, si primary, ito yung mga usually ginagamit na managerial style ng mga leaders. So for example, ang primary managerial style na ginagamit ng mga tao or ng mga leaders is yung tinatawag na authoritative. But then, kapag hindi umubra si authoritative managerial style, dun tayo nagkakaroon ng backup style. So si backup style, if your primary style is ineffective, therefore, you have to implement this backup style. So, di ba na-mention natin kanina that authoritative is giving a clear direction, motivating the employees, giving feedback about their task performance. So, kung hindi yun uubra, maybe we can switch to coercive. Kasi si coercive, there is a motivation by threats and discipline. So, ibig sabihin, kung hindi sumusunod yung mga empleyado mo based dun sa managerial style na meron ka, kailangan mong magpalit. Okay? Kailangan mong magpalit para nang sa ganon is maging maayos yung operation ng hotel. So, it depends upon kung anong klaseng managerial style yung ipapalit ni leader or ni manager. So, variously referred to as the Chief Engineer, Director of Building Operations, building superintendent, or some combination of those terms, this is the individual responsible for the management of building system and its maintenance, repair, and upkeep. So, to summarize everything about the engineering department, of course, meron din siyang head, and that is the chief engineer. So, dito, as a chief engineer, as one of the person that is belong to the top management of engineering department, of course, your sole responsibility is the management of the buildings system. Okay? Ibig sabihin, ikaw yung nagmamanage ng buong hotel building. Ikaw din yung magmamanage about maintenance, repair, and the upkeep of the building. So, from the building to the guest room, so si chief engineer yung pinaka-in charge. And syempre, meron din siyang mga subordinates to help him or her. So, the only time the functions of the engineering department became noticeable was on those unhappy occasions. So, kung mapapansin natin, dahil they are working behind the scenes, hindi natin sila masyadong nakikita kapag tayo is nag-check-in sa hotel. So, ang nangyayari is, nanonotice lang natin sila kapag may mga unhappy occasions. So, ano yung mga unhappy occasions na to? Ito yung mga pangyayari sa hotel na hindi natin inaasahan. Okay? So, when something went wrong with one of the building system and guests and or management were inconvenienced. So, for example, may emergency. Diba? May biglang nagkaroon ng sunog sa room 105. Usually, doon lang pumapasok si engineering department. Doon natin sila nakikita na maging visible sa hotel. But, kahit walang mga unhappy occasions, kahit walang mga emergencies or incidents na nangyayari, they are still working para sa safety and security ng hotel. So, among the important administrative functions of the engineering department are the following. So, helping other department heads make purchasing decision, keeping an inventory of spare parts and building equipment, arranging the performance of preventive maintenance on all building systems, and administering contract services such as pest control, window washing, landscaping, swimming pool maintenance, groundskeeping, and construction projects. So, lahat ng yan ang trabaho ni engineering department. Tinutulungan niya with regards sa purchasing decision, diba? Kung bibili ng mga air conditioning units, kung bibili ng mga materials, ng mga supplies, so tinutulungan niya yung iba't ibang mga departments within the hotel. Same with the spare parts and building equipment. So, arranging the performance of preventive maintenance on all buildings, and yung administering of contract services. So, si contract services kasi, ito yung mga tinatawagan natin outside the hotel. Let's say, for example, magkakaroon ng pest control, kailangan natin ipa-renovate or kailangan natin magpa-landscape ng garden, kailangan natin ayusin yung pool area kung may mga construction projects na kailangan gawin sa hotel. So, si engineering department ang in charge para tumawag sa mga establishments or companies na naka-under sa contract services. So, particularly in the case of guests, the engineer has little or no control over the way in which they treat guest room equipment and fixtures for which the engineer is responsible. So, dito, as an employee, hindi mo naman talaga malalaman kung kailan magkakaroon ng emergency, hindi mo naman malalaman kung kailan magkakaroon ng mga incidents, mga accidents. So, wala tayong masyadong control over that. Okay? But then, kung may mga ganun klaseng incidents na mangyari, si engineering department, particularly the engineers within the department, ang in charge to assist you, diba? To manage it, and later on to administer the problem. So, we have some technical specialists. So, dito nabanggit yung tinatawag na HVAC. So, HVAC stands for Heating, Ventilating, and Air Conditioning. So, ano ba tong HVAC na tinatawag natin or the HVAC system? So, it is concerned with supplying the production, public, and guest room areas of the hotel with a clean, controlled, and comfortable indoor environment. So pag sinabi nating HVAC, from the word itself, heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, they are in charge to provide thermal comfort and acceptable indoor air quality. So, ibig sabihin, si engineering department ang in charge dito. Okay? Kasi gusto natin na maging comfortable yung mga guests. Gusto natin na yung mga air conditioning unit is properly working. Kasi kapag hindi siya properly working, kapag hindi maayos yung mga air conditioning units natin, hindi tayo magiging satisfied sa pag-i-stay natin kung tayo is isang guest. Ngayon, kung employee naman tayo ng isang hotel, gusto nyo ba na sobrang init nung department nyo? Gusto nyo ba na sobrang init sa laundry area? Gusto nyo ba na sobrang init sa mga offices? Kasi walang proper thermal comfort. So dito, we are using several technologies, yung mga makabagong mga air conditioning unit, at yun ang ipinuput up natin sa hotel. So dito sinasabi natin that HVAC is really important. It is important lalong-lalo na sa mga residential or sa mga commercial buildings, katulad ng hotel. So as you can see in the picture, ito yung example ng HVAC system. Usually matatagpuan natin to sa pinaka-rooftop ng hotel. Yung iba naman is sa underground or rather sa lower ground ng hotel. So that's it for the engineering operations of the hotel. So that's the end of the presentation of our lesson video for today. If ever you miss some points in the discussion, feel free to replay it in YouTube. Thank you so much for listening and have a nice day.